The title is a bit of a lie. I've done Pokemon Nuzlocks before, but they've all ended in failure. Dozens of Pokemon that I've trained, nicknamed, and cared for have died, and it's all because of my mistakes as a trainer. That is something I had to own up to in this Nuzlocke. A rule set that hardcore Pokemon players put on a Pokemon playthrough to basically put into hard mode. There are a bunch of rules I added, but the main ones were if a Pokemon faints, they are dead forever, and I can only get one Pokemon per area. Oh yeah, you can also be named after these Pokemon on my Twitch channel, where I try to record all my videos. Now my journey started in Pokemon Black, one of the hardest Pokemon games to Nuzlocke. And by the end of this video, I'll face all 8 gym leaders and be the champion. Well, I hope. And with this being the 5th generation of Pokemon, a soft reboot of the series, there are a lot of new Pokemon to capture and play around. But first, I gotta make the most important decision of my journey, my starter. I chose Oshawott, well, now named Joshua, and after destroying my room and my friends, I caught a pet rat named Danny. I'm really nostalgic towards a lot of these guys, and it's been over a decade since I first played the game, so even this tiny rat is kinda cool. The next town I found out about Team Plasma, a cult that wants to liberate Pokemon from trainers or something like that. I don't know, I just kinda wanted to become champion, but after that, I met the love of my life. Or N. And after sniffing me, we battled. He only really had a Purloin, but I felt like that battle was the start of something a lot bigger for me and N. I went on with my journey and caught a Lillipup named Dog, and I was gifted a Panseer that I named Moki. Kinda some regular Route 1 Pokemon so far, but I quickly became attached. Moki already was a pretty high level and took out my old friend Charon pretty easily. After that though, my new team and I fought the first gym. There were 3 gym leaders, and you fought the typing that is effective against your starters, so I had to face Silent, but we had Moki. He really just needed to use a bunch of fire moves for a victory, and with our first gym badge in hand, we had to face Team Plasma. We're trying to drug people through their dreams with this Pokemon named Munna, using its Dream Mist. Anyways, we stopped that, and after another easy battle with Charon, we learned that Team Plasma also stole this little girl's Pokemon, but before helping this little girl, we decided to catch this Pidove. Its name is Po now. To be honest, Team Plasma's kind of a joke right now. So me and Charon took them down pretty quickly, and I caught this rock named Mimi while I was at it. Oh yeah, Joshua evolved, and he's pretty cool now too. After I decided to get another encounter for the next gym, and I got a 10% encounter rate sock. It almost killed me, but we got it, and it is now named Father. Yeah, my chat for some reason had a weird obsession with Father and my mom. In-game mom, of course, but anyways, Dog evolved into a bigger dog, and oh my god, it's N again. It had more Pokemon this time, but they were still bad, and after a ridiculously long time on a children's puzzle.
Dude, the directions are unclear.
I faced the gym leader, Lenora. Father was very effective against Lenora, but oh my god, the stab retaliate was a very close call. Afterwards, we did some Team Plasma shenanigans, and hey, Po and Moki are evolved now. I went to go to the 3rd gym, but Team Plasma said no. They decided to make a base next to the Pokemon gym, and yeah, that didn't work. I don't know why they thought it would, but after we were actually able to fight the 3rd gym. It was only bug types, and with my newly evolved Pokemon, it was pretty easy. I next had an easy fight with Bianca, and then a fight with Charon. Po was able to take out Charon's Pidove and Pampor pretty swiftly, but then Charon sent out Liepard. I'm playing on set mode. If you didn't know, in the Pokemon games you are usually given an option to switch Pokemon after defeating another trainer's Pokemon. But set mode kinda just gets rid of all that for more of a challenge. The problem here was I defeated Charon's Pampor, but had to switch out after, because Liepard was sent out and I was really low on HP. The thing is, Liepard knows a move called Pursuit, which just hits a Pokemon before it can switch out. And that's how I lost my first Pokemon, Po. I knew I was going to make mistakes, but this death hurt. For me and my chat. The rest of the fight was easy, it just hurt knowing Po's death could have been avoided if I switched earlier. A newly evolved Annie was there to take Po's place, but it wasn't the same. I traveled through the desert to the next city, catching a lot of new Pokemon, like Chimmy the Sandile, Q the Minccino, Roro the Scraggy, and Mimi evolved, which would be really nice for the next electric gym. But before that, we got to have a nice date with N. We rode the Ferris wheel together, and had a nice playful battle too. But sadly, I had to go fight the next gym. And my main plan for the next gym was Mimi the Bulldog, because she could just shoot a bunch of rocks at these flying Emolgas. But after taking down one Emolga, Mimi was immediately taken down with a critical hit. This death, well, wasn't as cherished as Po, but still showed that my game plans aren't foolproof. The rest of the battle was really close with a lot of switched out Pokemon. Chimmy was able to take down Eliza's Substrika, but the last Emolga kept on being healed to full from her Hyper Potions, which made me resort to using Moki and a Yawn strategy, which worked, but was very close and relied on a little bit of luck. I had another battle with Charon, and I had to sack one of my old encounters, Roro, and I was starting to feel the pressure. I was losing Pokemon lives in back-to-back-to-back battles, and these were Pokemon I we'll need later in the run. I was still hopeful on Pokemon I can get later on, but it was getting scary. Chimmy evolved and I was able to catch a guaranteed ducklet named Ruckle, and afterwards I arrived at Driftveil City, which has amazing music by the way, that I use it in like every other video. Anyways, me and Charon took down a bunch of Team Plasma Grunts in a freezer, and I traded Q for a Basculin for the 5th gym leader, Clay. He uses ground type, so I thought getting as much water type Pokemon as possible would work. And it did. Clay is infamously known to be a bit of a problem, but my team passed it. And it felt like the deaths were finally starting to slow down. Anyways, Dog evolved into the biggest dog, and I caught Clonk the Clink in Chargestone Cave. It turned out Team Plasma are also in this cave, and I have to fight my way to save N. Nothing was too hard, and the end fight was amazing. But oh my god, this next route had trainers that had Pokemon that were about the same level as me, and there were rotation battles as well. Yeah, it was scary. So I wanted out of this area fast. But while I was on this route, I had to meet the flying type gym leader Skyla at the top of Celestial Tower, and I got another Mimi, but this time she's a Litwick. Also, I got Mayo, the Palpitoad in the next door route, and Ruckle also evolved into a Swanna, and with the help of the biggest dog, Skyla wasn't really a problem, getting us our 6th badge. As I was leaving the area for the next gym, I had another fight with Charon, and it was tough. Joshua barely took out his Unpheasant, and Moki took out Servine, but the terror known as Simipour was released. The elemental monkeys all have high attack and speed, at least comparative to most Pokemon, and making them pretty hard if I don't have a clear counter. And since Joshua was already low, I sent out Ruckle to take on Simipour, and I immediately got burned by its Scald. And then on the next turn, I got crit, making Ruckle barely live. I decided to send out Dog because of its high base stats, but after taking a second Scald, Dog got burned too. This cuts my attack in half, and in order to salvage this battle, I had to take the Dog out back. Father was able to finish the battle for Dog, and I don't know if I was going to use him late game, but he really carried me through a lot of battles. So we had to keep on going. Joshua became fully evolved, and I caught a Cupchew named Cringeveil. Oh yeah, and he died. That happened. Future sights, scary, huh? Anyways, Clonk evolved into a bigger Clonk, and it was time to face the Ice-type gym leader, Bryson. I had several Pokemon that could clear this gym, but Joshua, Mimi, and Clonk took it down with these. After the gym ended, Chimmy became an absolute beast, and one of my favorite Pokemon. And oh yeah, I have to fight Team Plasma again, which helped Mimi evolve. We learned that N has a Zekrom now, and I need to use the Lightstone to get Reshiram. So after a little goose chase, I got it, but first I need to become champion, which brought me to the 8th gym, and I rearranged my team a bit, adding Cringeveil to take on Drayden and his dragon types, and this gym's scary. Full of Pokemon spamming Dragon Dance and strong dragon moves. I even lost Ruckle before the gym leader thanks to a critical hit Dragon Claw, which sucked. I was out of Flying Birds and I got pretty attached. I had to replace Ruckle with Mayo, the little goofy guy, and now the gym leader. He was tough. I led with Chimmy for a free Intimidate and took down his Fracture. And Mayo was used to take and do a little damage, but Clonk really came in and took down the Druddigon. And once Haxorus came out and D-danced, I thought it was kinda over. But I got super lucky, and Haxorus used Dragon Tail, which has negative priority, allowing Clonk to move first, and my team lived another day. Technically, I lost no Pokemon in the gym battle, so it's a dub, but yeah, it was close. Next I had a fight with Charon, which went fine, but then when going back to heal, yeah, I spam clicked and lost Clonk.
Wait, oh no, I just entered.
Another life lost, because I was impatient. Clonk carried me through so many battles just because it was a steel type, and if you didn't know, steel types are pretty overpowered in like everything because they resist almost every type in the game. After all those deaths, I went to get all the encounters I didn't get before, and ventured through Victory Road and formed my team to win the game by defeating the Elite Four and the champion. Joshua the Samrot, Chimmy the Crocodile, Mimi the Chandelure, and my new members Laika the Excadrill, Azure the Crustle, and Dino the Haxorus. Yeah, I gotta axe you. I know. Honestly, I was pretty confident with this team, so I fought the Elite Four in order. Chantal was a ghost trainer, and Mimi was supposed to do work here with her high special attack and super effective moves. Mimi did wipe out Chantal's first 2 Pokemon, but Jellicent survived at very low health, forcing me to swap out to Joshua. All the Elite Four members had a lot of potions from when their Pokemon got low, so I needed a clean hit for most encounters. Also, I haven't really mentioned this, but I'm not using items, so when Pokemon take a hit, they gotta deal with it. Joshua took an energy ball, so I swapped a Dino trying to sit up, but I overestimated Dino because its Dragon Claw was nowhere near enough damage, forcing a Death Dino on their first battle. I was nervous, and honestly that could have been avoided pretty easily, and with 3 more Elite Four members left to go, I had to step it up. So for Grimsley, who specialized in dark types, I needed an answer. And Azor, my Crustle, answered. Crustle has an insane defense stat, allowing a lot of super effective hits not to kill. And with Lyca on the back, I was able to wipe the rest of the team. Next I had Caitlyn, a psychic trainer, and I had a lot of answers. Crustle took out her Uniclus, Joshua took out her Siglith, and Chimmy just took out the rest of her team. And with that, I had one fight left to go, and I had 5 Pokemon remaining. Next, I fought Marshall, who specializes in fighting types. Joshua took out the first Pokemon, and I decided to switch to Mimi to try to predict a fighting move, but for some reason the Sock used Stone Edge, which almost killed Mimi. This Pokemon AI was getting in my head, and one of my answers to this fight was almost taken out. I switched to Chimmy trying to one-shot, and yeah, that was kind of stupid, but I got critted as well, so it was even worse. I sent out Azur to do some damage, but he just healed it all up. Lyca was up next and almost one-shot Sock, but it had Sturdy. And the Sock has taken down like 3 members out of the fight. Also predicting a nerf fighting move, I switched to Mimi, but he used Grass Knot for some reason. Normally I would be pissed, but Mimi survived at 1 HP, taking out the Sock. I sacked Azur to guarantee Mimi's life against Conkeldurr, and Joshua finished him off. I had 3 Pokemon left. I thought I had 3 chances to take down Marshall's final Pokemon, Mienshao. But I lost. Lyca went down, Joshua went down, Mimi was quickly taken out. Mienshao was a bit too fast for everyone. My errors as a trainer caused all my Pokemon to die. I had all the decisions, and although there was some luck involved, it was my fault. I thought to myself that this was like all the other runs I had. I wasn't able to beat the Nuzlocke. However, unlike the other Nuzlockes, I kept trying. I restarted my game, and with my new experiences and hardships, I was determined to finish the run not only for me, but all the Pokemon I lost in my last run. For my second run, I ran through the game picking a Tepig named Temmie and clearing the gyms as fast as possible. First gym was easy. Second gym cleared even without any type advantages. Third gym was even easier with Popo and Temmie. Popo is Po too, by the way. The Chern fight where I lost Po before was conquered. All seemed to be going even better than last time. And then I went to the 4th gym. The gym I cleared without much loss before suddenly became a all or nothing scenario. Yeah, I lost 4 Pokemon, including my starter, and honestly, this battle should have been lost. I did get some unlucky crits in the battle, but I should have lost because I could have easily been hit with a Flame Charge here against my Pansage. However, I didn't. This game is a chance after all. Rocket the Bulbasaur and just Hockey the Pansage were my only remaining Pokemon. I wanted to end the run there, thinking it was undoable. I lost my starter, Future Crocodile. The mistakes I made last time that I thought wasn't going to happen, happened. I lost even more Pokemon than in my first run, but I kept going. Even with losing my starter, I created a whole new team, and yeah, I did make some mistakes along the way, but anything was better than quitting. My clay fight, deathless. Skyla, deathless. Random Chern fight, I lost Popo due to 5% misfly. I hit you, Chern. Trade in. I lost Clonk again, but that was bad, but honestly could have been worse. And now, back to the Elite Four. That took a bit, but now I'm back with a new team and a game plan. I had 1 or 2 Pokemon for each Elite Four member, and most of my team was pretty tanky. I got a designated item for each of my Pokemon, and I was ready to become champion. So I started with the Elite Four member who ended my last run, Marshall. I led with Gothani because Marshall led with a throw, and I thought Gothani was guaranteed to at least take him out, which she did. Future Mycophagus was a really big player here in a lot of the fights with its tankiness. The problem Pokemon in this fight was Conkeldurr. It has 140 base attack, and no matter what Conkeldurr faces, it'll do some serious damage. Alan took 1 Hammer Arm, but it was close. But knowing I would live, I used Surf, trying to 2-hit KO him, but I got a low roll, making Alan the Seismitoad have an abrupt end. I was getting really nervous, because this is exactly what happened last time, like with my early death with Dino. The rest of the fight was close. I switched to Lycanroc to quickly defeat Conkeldurr, but the fast Mienshao was back. I did have a strategy, however. Excadrill is weak to fighting types, which is really not good here, but I was able to use that to my advantage. Knowing Mienshao would use a fighting type move, I can switch the future and negate the attack entirely. And yeah, that works for a switch in, but Mienshao is still faster and can easily defeat future. But there's one reason why this worked. Mienshao used the move Jump Kick, which was the only fighting type move it knew. Problem with this move is its high attack power, but if it misses, Mienshao takes half the damage it would deal in recoil. You get where this is going? I used this strategy to barely make it past Marshall with 1 death. Another factor here was that Excadrill resists all of Mienshau's other moves, which guarantees this strategy to work, but with Marshall taken care of, I went back to fight Chantal. I taught Lycadrill Shadow Claw, hopefully to be able to be a big proponent in this fight, but he was immediately hit with a Will-O-Wisp. I was able to finish off the starting Cofagrigus with my Eviolite holding Zwellis Mimino, but the damage was done. My answer for Chantal's Golurk was Alan, and you know what happened to that guy. And a lot of my ideas for this Pokemon were already taken care of. Thankfully, Golurk used Brick Break, so Future could easily switch in, and combined with it using Curse for some reason, Future was able to take it out. Mepant the Scrafty and Gothani took out Jellicent along with its full restores, but Chantal's Chandelure cut it close. Mepant got crit by the Chandelure, forcing me to switch to Mimino, which barely tanked a Fire Blast, securing the battle. Caitlyn was next, and Gothani took down her Reuniclus, and Mepant took down her Musharna. But man, this Stiglith was scary. High speed, high special attack, and pretty tanky honestly, along with its insane coverage, made this thing a threat. The only reason I lived was because it used Shadow Ball instead of Psychic on Future, and the rest of the battle was pretty easy. Now, the final Elite Four member is Grimsley, and I've beaten him before. The thing is, last time I had a water Pokemon. Mepant exchanged his Scrafty energy with the other Scrafty, and Lycadrill took out Liepard. The main problem was Krookodile. All my live Pokemon were weak to this thing. It had a move for each of them. I decided to sack Future because I needed a clean switch in, and man, it was tough. But with Future's death, I chose to use Mepant one final time, thinking her defense would be enough. But it wasn't. My team was crumbling before my eyes again. Mimino was my final hope. I sent her out and used Body Slam with a last-ditch effort for a Paralyze, and a hit. The Paralyze guaranteed that Lycadrill would be faster, saving the rest of the team. I finally defeated the Elite Four, and this was the furthest I got so far in the Nuzlocke. I surpassed my last run, and I had one final step, and that was to become champion. After the fight, I saw my love end defeat the previous champion Alder. For some reason, there was a whole team Plasma base underneath the Elite Four. Yeah, I don't get it, but this gave me time to create a team to the best of my abilities, and face the champion for one last fight. My new team had old and new members, and since I really wanted to win, I caught and used Reshiram, the legendary Pokemon, and it absolutely sucked. Reshiram died instantly. I would have been better off leading with Lycadrill like my original plan, but anyways, if you couldn't tell, the champion fight was going bad. I thought Lycadrill would easily be able to take out this Klinklang that was sent out after the Zekrom, but I was deceived, duped, fooled even. This Klinklang was a Zoroark, and it not only took out Lycadrill, but also Giganto the Golurk. I was able to finish off Zoroark with Stella, but it was bad. Among Us and Gothani took out the real Klinklang, and Among took out the Caracosta. The problem with my team was speed, because no matter what I did, N's Pokemon were faster, and Among got finished off. And with 2 Pokemon remaining, Stella was not only able to recover and Surf Spam to take out Vanillux, but also one of N's scariest Pokemon, Archeops. My team, although few, or couple, did it, and everyone's losses were remembered. Stella and Gothani standed strong with the champion title under their belt. And that's how I completed my first Nuzlocke. I got clapped by N's dad though.